For more on the expo, we turn now to Yan Liang in Portland, Oregon. She's a professor of economics at Willamette University. First, I want to get your reaction to President Xi's address to CIIE attendees and his main message.
Good to talk to you, Elaine. So I think President Xi gave a very powerful, positive, and also poetic speech. So in which I think he really emphasized two things. One is China's past accomplishments. So he talked a lot about implementing reforms and opening to commit to the WTO accession conditions. He also talked about the recent efforts in promoting, trade and also these anti sort of pandemic measures. He mentioned many interesting numbers, like how many test kits or COVID sort of vaccines that China has distributed to the world. And the overall message is China has fulfilled its commitment to further opening and integration to the global economy and have played its role in promoting global economy. And the second major message, I think, is to looking forward that, China is going to continue to uphold multilateralism. China is going to continue to have the so-called high-level opening. And China is also going to play a leadership role in some of these international trade agreements and investment agreements.
So when it comes to China opening up, what do you think companies need to know if they're right now trying to invest, trying to do business in China, given the timeline, given the pandemic?
Right. So I think China's message is clear that, China is going to continue to open, especially, President Xi talked about that there are all these negative lists that has been shrinking over the years. So now, for example, in telecommunication, in financial services, in digital economy, in many of these areas, China is going to welcome foreign investors. The idea is that, as China transforms its economy to low carbon, to high tech economies, China welcomes foreign companies to come in and work on areas like, advanced manufacturing, modern services, high tech, energy conservation, environmental protection, and all of these, industries that China wanted to promote, as well as regions like the West and Northeast.
And the expo is getting underway. We saw that healthcare, tech among the biggest industries at the expo. What stands out to you?
Right. So I think as China clearly states that it tries to, promote technology-driven, economy, innovation-driven economy, and trying, like I said, to transform the economy to low sort of carbon intensity economy. So yes, there will be a lot of high-tech advanced products that China would like to import. So that includes some consumer goods like medical equipment, like healthcare products, like new energy cars, but also some of the high-tech equipment, manufacturing goods, and capital goods. All these, I think, China is interested in importing. So I think it's important to know, as President Xi talked about, that China has 1.4 billion people with 400 million strong middle class. So the consumption, private consumption, is expected to double to $12.7 trillion by 2030. So I think that just presents China as an important and ever growing market. So I think this is a great opportunity not only benefit China's consumers and producers, but also the global economy.
Right, and here we are, year 4. How important is this year's event, given that we do still have some virtual parts of this, but there are people there in person from other countries as these economies try to recover from the pandemic, the face-to-face interaction, the buying, the purchasing here?
Right. So I think it is important. This is both a virtual and also kind of in-person events. There are countries that participated online the first time, like Palestine, and some other countries. So I think it is a very important platform for these person-to-person exchanges to showcase some of the new products, innovative products, and to build out business relationships. And we know this is the 4th time that China has hosted the CIIE. And over the years, that contract amounts, the contract values have grown over time. So last year, I think there were about $72 billion of contracts that have been signed at the CIIE. And this year, I think that number could easily grow as countries are trying to promote their exports to China, and also as China recover and going, to have economic growth in the future. So I think this is an event that would be very helpful, both as the reporter said, at the substantive level and also at the symbolic value to promote global trade and economic integration and cooperation.
Always great to get your take, Professor Yan Liang. Thank you so much for joining us from Portland,
Thank you for having
Oregon.
me.